This is the case of People versus Conrad Robert Murray, case SA.
The jurors had deliberated for 2 days on just one question. Was Dr. Conrad Murray guilty of the involuntary manslaughter of Michael Jackson? A court official read the verdict.
We, the jury in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Conrad Robert Murray, guilty of the crime of involuntary manslaughter in violation of Penal Code Section 192, subsection B.
Dr. Murray was impassive, so too his lawyers. But outside, Michael Jackson's most loyal fans gave their reaction. A mix of relief with the verdict and anger for a doctor whose gross ethical lapses so betrayed his famous patient. Mike Garcia was one of the singer's bodyguards. Now he fears most for the children, for Prince, Paris and Blanket.
I hope that they're not scarred by anything that's been brought up about their father, and, you know, the terms addict and, you know, all the drugs. So,
what would you say to Dr. Murray if you could deliver him a message now?
If I could say anything to him, it would just be, how could you? You know, how could you be that negligent in handling Mr. Jackson?
He left him there, abandoned him to fend for himself.
What this trial provided was an intimate, even deeply intrusive look into Jackson's lifestyle in those final days. In the evenings, he was rehearsing for his London comeback tour. But at night, he was desperately fighting insomnia, with Dr. Murray at his side, surrounded by sedatives. Worse than that, Jackson had fallen dangerously, fatally, in love with a drug so powerful it is used only in hospitals, the anesthetic propofol. Jackson called it his milk. Some of those around him knew the risk and tried to warn him.
I said, the problem with you telling me you want to be knocked out, those were his words, is that you might not wake up the next morning.
Slipping in and out of sleep, Murray made an audio recording of a barely comprehensible Jackson. During the trial, jurors heard eminent doctors expressing shock that propofol was being given to Jackson without multiple safeguards.
When you monitor a patient, you never leave their side, especially after giving propofol. It's like leaving a baby that's sleeping on your kitchen countertop.
We never heard from Dr. Murray during the court case. He declined to give evidence. But shortly after Jackson's death, he delivered a video message to his supporters.
I have done all I could do. I told the truth, and I have faith the truth will prevail.
And yes, in the end, that truth did emerge. And it revealed a doctor who was so reckless and so negligent that millions of fans lost a performer they loved. Michael Jackson's children lost a father. And the world will never know what music would have been produced in his final years.